Hey, welcome back, Goombas. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't, please click like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I'd appreciate it. I'm out here at the Italian market in South Philly. A really incredible place when you think about how long it's been here. We're talking about, this probably started in the 1800s, 1840, I think. Pretty incredible. That's a long time. So you guys, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Christmas in South Philly. I wanted to do this last year, but I just didn't get to it, and this year I did. So I wanted to talk to you about, look, I had a great childhood growing up in South Philly, and I loved Christmas in South Philly. And just some things stick with you, some don't. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the things that did. For instance, one of the things that I always will remember when I was a kid is the old Italian ladies would walk up and down the street around Christmas. Everybody had a tray of food or some kind of cookies or something that they'd be delivering to each other's houses. And it was just a way to say, hey, I love you, neighbor, by exchanging food. Sometimes you got the same thing, same cookies, but that wasn't the point. The whole point was the giving and the sharing. So it's just stuff that you really don't see much anymore these days, I'm sure it happens, but not like before. I'm talking, it was like mass transit, like people were walking up and down the street all the time with food. Another thing about South Philly and Christmas, every house, every single house almost was decorated. I mean, there were lights everywhere. Remember how big the bulbs were back in the 70s and 80s? It was those big gigantic light bulbs. They were always color. And then you had those other ones that looked like a flower, had like the light in the middle, but then it was like a flower around. It looked like a flower, it was just plastic, but, and then today you just don't see as much decorations anymore. I mean, we still have a few places like Smedley Street off of Oregon Avenue. Every year they do this, different decorations. They put up all these decorations all over the terrace. And then of course you also have Miracle on 13th Street. There would always be one big gift that I always wanted, whether it would be a bike or a movie projector or a movie camera. There was always the big item, and then I would, the night before, you can't sleep, because that tomorrow's Christmas, and you come down the steps and you see all the gifts and you start ripping them open, tearing them open, and you go through them in minutes. And, the big gift isn't there, you're still happy because there was always a lot of presents. I always had a great Christmas. My parents always made sure I had great Christmas. And then my father would say, Nicky, get the trash for your mother and carry it in the kitchen and throw it in the trash can. So I would gather up all the paper and all the trash and boxes, and I would walk into the kitchen, and in the kitchen would be the big bike or the movie projector or the movie camera that I always wanted. And he would do that all the time every year. That's something special. That's something that I'll always remember. So Christmas to me today, yeah, it's nice to get gifts and everything, but Christmas to me now is I'm looking forward to spending time with my family, doing things together, watching my grandkids rip open presents. It's all external now, It's not so much about what I want, it's about what I could do for my family. And it's just, I guess, maturity. You just, as you get older, you get more mature, and you start to realize what's special and what's important. And that's family to me. it's family, my grandkids. I can't tell you how much joy that they bring me and my friends. I appreciate my friends, because it's not always going to be like this, It's not always going to be good. So, Goombas, grab a hold of your friends and your family and everybody you love and enjoy the time that you have with them. Because there's going to be times where it's not like this. And the memories you create with them is what's going to help you pull through. Now, don't get me wrong. A 75-inch Sony would make me happy. It would. I'll still take it. Guys, it's freaking cold out here. It's got to be like 26 degrees. I can't even feel my hands right now. I remember New Year's on 12th Street, like 12th and Dickinson. They used to I always was blown away by this. I don't know why. I was just a small kid, but the trolley that traveled up 12th Street would now drive the opposite way on 12th Street, and it would be covered in all kinds of decorations, balloons and stuff for the new year. And that's something that I always remembered as a kid. It was just like fascinating to me. I'm like, hey, that trolley's going the wrong way, and it's all decorated all kinds of crazy. You guys remember that? Anybody lived in that neighborhood? Off of 12th Street, trolley used to go backwards during the New Year's or New Year's Eve. It would happen. That's right, New Year's Eve. That's when it would happen. It would go backwards. Lots of decorations all over it. It was insane. Of course, what's Christmas without a Christmas tree? I remember that was one of the most special things. The most fun things was going out with my parents and my dad, to go get a Christmas tree. My mother always did, she didn't always come, but me and my dad always did. And I remember this one year, he was complaining about the prices of Christmas trees. Back then they were like $25, and he got in an argument with the guy because it was so expensive. It was like $35 or something. So my dad bought one, and on the way out he ran over one, and it got caught under the car, and he drug it all the way home and gave it to our neighbor. So we basically got 2 trees for $30, which that was a deal. But hey, you got to get a tree, right? We would go and get trees off the street vendors, like my friend Freddie Bow. What I got to do? What I got to do to get a tree? It's just Freddie. He's at Broad and McKean. Or Pashock, still Broad, right? You'll see it. It'll be the place with the trees. When you gonna have your trees here, Fred?
They'll be here today, sometime around 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, and are you open night 24 hours?
24/7, baby.
And give them some tree education. What kind of trees are you gonna have here?
Well, some balsam, some Fraser, some Douglas fir, some concolor. What else? Some grand fir, which is a Russian Christmas tree.
So if you're in a hurry, get the Russian one. You see what I did there?
Even though we're Italian, we just took a rush.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the Fraser is always the #1 tree. Always smells the best, lives the longest, holds the heaviest ornaments. You can't go wrong with it.
See, folks, you got it. This is Freddie. Come out and get a tree. And listen, if you come out here and mention my name, you get to pay full price. People say the magic of Christmas, and think about it. I mean, Christmas time, people seem to be a little nicer, a little happier, a little more energetic. And anytime something could make that of you, yeah, I think it's magic. I think it's magic. Be happy, Goombas. Enjoy your family, enjoy your life. Eat, party, and I'll see you next time. Merry Christmas.